Food buffs are amazing in Once Human. I mean, the orange pie gives us 25% more XP. But it can also be pretty annoying to actually grow your respective food and get all the different ingredients. Today, I not only have the must-have 3 foods for you, which will allow you to do tons more damage, heal health over time, and the final one will absolutely blow you out of the water. And since we hate how tedious it can be, we're going to automatize the whole process as much as we can to make it fun. First one are the preserved deviated chops, used to increase acid gain by 50% when defeating deviants. And acid is probably the most important resource, since it's used to craft anything. Just want to make tungsten ingots? Acid. Aluminium? Acid. Gunpowder? Acid. It's needed everywhere. In order to make this food, we'll need peppercorn, salt, and meat. Good thing is, the meat can be completely automatized, and the peppercorn seeds we can just buy. Teleporting straight to Blackfell, the vendor right in front of the building, Lacey, will be selling peppercorn seeds to you. Whoop, that's 3 per week. But if you have 3, they keep multiplying anyways, and she does sell you 3 peppercorn as well. Already able to start crafting. And for the meat, we have our little friend, the Lethal Rabbit Deviant. This guy, I just left him alone for 24 hours. I haven't checked what he actually gets, so let's loot this right now. I got 6 deer meat, 6 beast meat, 6 pork, 7 rabbit meat, 3 goat meat. Tons of meat to just straight up be able to start crafting. And the cool part about all the different meats is they have different effects. If we craft this with rabbit meat, we get more stamina. But if I jam in the goat meat, I'll be restoring HP slowly. And I didn't have to farm any of this. The lethal rabbit you'll get by killing rabbits and then skinning them. And the best location for this is next to the Greywater camp at the outcrop of islands here. It's the Iron River location. This is the coordinates. And there is tons of rabbits, especially always close to the water. Skin them and make sure to actually pick up the meat. Then, oh, Jesus, kill the next one, skin them, and just walk alongside the water to find more rabbits. And they respawn so fast. Kill around 30, you got yourself a lethal rabbit. 1 is enough. Now, the missing ingredient is salt. We're going from Greywater camp all the way to the right to the secret harbor. There's a teleportation tower close by. And there's actually 2 things we'll pick up here. We'll get our salt water, which, by the way, can provide quite some XP as you're boiling it down. But we're already going to be picking up shellfish. If you're already at the beach, you might be getting 2 in 1 for 2 dishes. Fly all the way down to the beach, and we're looking for the rocks that are not the green ones. Nope, we're looking for the rocks that have shellfish on them. These are the shell rocks, and you just collect hundreds of this shellfish. It goes super quick, so you just gotta like go for 1 run and they can just store them. And then you're gonna walk into the water and you're gonna collect seawater. Now, the good thing is that this stuff you essentially do 1 single time and you get tons of these resources, and the rest is simply being done in your base. Now, back in your base, you can turn the seawater into salt, and that's 200 salt. We kind of like got this knocked out. Don't have to care about this anytime soon again. And we'll have to plant the peppercorn seeds. And that we can completely automatize, so we don't have to care about this. The good thing is that the peppercorn seed and all the other stuff that we kind of need grows together very well. If you go on your planter box, it will tell you how much light do they need and how much water do they need. But this is quite similar to everything else. First step to automatization is getting the water running, that they actually have always enough water. Simply get yourself a water tank, fill it up with dirty water, or have rain collectors fill it up with dirty water. Then the osmosis water purifier will turn this into pure water, which is automatically being dumped into the automatic irrigation. And the irrigation you can just set to the exact target value you need. They need 60 water to grow, 70 water to grow. Simple, just press F, get it done. And in order to not bother about planting all this stuff, we get ourselves the grow shrooms. This one, for example, has harvested mushroom seeds for me. And if you want to have them now replant set mushroom seeds, we're just going to click on the top part, give him the peppercorn, or give him the mushrooms, deposit them, and he's just going to simply replant it. The other one is currently taking care of Moral and harvesting everything as well and just depositing it to himself. The way to get grow shrooms is incredibly simple. You just teleport down to the Mayor's Market area where the Sunbury town is. There's a teleporter right next to it. From the teleporter, you're just straight up walking to the north and jump down into the cave, and the cave will be filled with shrooms. This is where you get your first mushroom seeds as well. But as you're looting these mushrooms, you get a seed, as I just gotten there, but you can also get the grow shroom. Yep, every mushroom looted has a chance to get it. I think I looted around 20 mushrooms for 2 grow shrooms. Will vary from player to player. Now you can go back to the teleporter, reset this whole thing, or just do this every now and then to kind of pick up your grow shroom. And interesting enough, if you do actually grow these shrooms in your base, they can also drop the grow shroom for you. So you can actually grow your own grow shroom. This seems like a lot to set up for you. Don't worry, this is absolutely worth it, especially when we get to the beer stage, because that one is absolutely OP for the end game. Now we're essentially growing our peppercorn. We got more than enough salt for ages, and the meat is automatically coming in, which means we got our acid production completely covered. Easy as cake. Which brings us to the next food, and that's the canned seafood in oil. Use for a chance to get 666% or 6,000 yield bonus for the final strike while mining or logging. What? For this, we will need moral, corn oil, and aluminium. Aluminium we do have. And as a final bonus, you need to actually get yourself a fish. And the fishes can even increase your mining speed. Now the moral is actually fantastic because this goes hand in hand with our normal mushrooms that we will as well need. And the corn oil is perfect because that has to do with our beer production as well. First, the moral. Seeds for this you can't buy, but the best farming spot seems to be the 73 source extraction point next to the Blackfell town. Generally recommended farming point for endgame materials, but what you're actually looking for is the main building or generally all the storage crates, but you want to go where the scientists are and you want to essentially loot their cabinets. Let's ignore these nerds here. Like these cabinets in the scientist building, they all have a chance to actually get you moral seeds. When you're getting plastics here and any ways that you'll need for looting, but essentially go in there, get all the cabinets looted down, then walk into the main hall, get the cabinets there, get your storage containers left, right, and center, pick everything clean, and there's a chance to actually get your moral there. Now, moral out of the way, we need corn, and we'll actually be setting up the corn, moral, mushrooms, and peppercorn that they're each growing off of each other and are all 4 in the perfect environments. For corn, we're teleporting to Deadsville, first town, and we're going to the Citrus County. And you're looking for the final field in the top left corner because you got tons of corn there. You'll just F yourself through the field. That's a corn seed. That's a corn seed. Corn seeds. Just pick them all up. And once you get corn seeds, you'll essentially never run out of them again. And as you're already here to pick up your corn, on top of the field, next to the cornfield, can be the buzzy bee. The buzzy bee is incredible. We'll get to that in the mushroom stage. Now we get ourselves the moral, the corn, the aluminium we have anyways, and we just have to put it in the right environment to grow. Now moral needs 70 irrigation, 80 light roughly, and mushrooms also need 70 irrigation and 80 light. So we can plant them right next to each other while we have the artificial growth light set to 80, so they're growing 24/7. The grow light mimetics are right under the planter box next to fertilizers in the logistics tab. Now, one important thing about mushrooms and moral though, you do want to plant them where the area is polluted. So where your backpack actually shows a level of pollution, because if they're planted in a polluted area, they can deviate. So they can turn into this red glowing special kind of mushroom, which we'll need for an important dish versus bosses. And that's also where this stupid bee comes in. Increases the mutation chance of planted crops. The higher the deviant energy level, the higher the mutation chance. Make this bee happy and it will make your crops mutate at some point. And putting them in a polluted area seems to amplify that chance as well. That's at least what I've noticed in my recent experiments. And the final thing we need for seafood, well, that's the seafood. So we gotta catch some fish. The easiest location for this is Mayor's Market, as there is a lady right at the docks down here, these locations, that sells you the bait to catch more fish. And before you go to fish anywhere, you're always going to wait for the public crisis event Surge of Fish. And if it's not available for you right now, you're just going to go to any teleportation tower, switch worlds until you find the crisis event, and then you could also teleport right to it, which now has our base automatically grow the peppercorn, create the meat, we get the deviated chops, we'll have the fish for the seafood oil and the moral, which means if we get lucky one single time with that yield bonus, we'll have so much tungsten or whatever, you'll never have to worry about it again. I only crafted so far 5 of these and never more. The rest I'm actually selling for tons of energy link. I'm currently sitting at 740,000. And you need 390,000 at the end of this season to actually buy yourself 4K Starcrom. Now, I've been actually talking about mushrooms and also getting these mushrooms to deviate, getting these mushrooms to evolve into something more. And that is super important for the next dish called Bone and Deviated Sausage, because this used to increase your damage against bosses by 15%. If you're actually struggling to beat anyone on hard mode or pro mode, if you want to farm someone, you could weasel out another 15% damage. But for this, you need deviated mushrooms. And, well, you're going to plant normal mushrooms in the pollution area with a busy bee, and they have a chance to deviate. Now, there's also a spice called masala that you need to make that sausage, but this one you can simply buy from the tall grass in vendor. You'll find it in the open world. As you can see, I have tons, 33 plus right now, without ever searching for it. But per week, you can buy another 3, then you have a 30 minutes damage boost to take out any boss you want. And again, depending on the meat you're taking, like the pork with more HP or the goat meat, you would even restore HP slowly during your boss fight. Couldn't be better. Now, the recipe for bone deviated sausage you're going to get in the Blackfell City. And you're going to make your way to the location here, these coordinates. And it's definitely not a KFC restaurant. It's some kind of sandwich chicken place. Yeah, where we can get food sandwich. Yeah, cool. And on this desk here will be the recipe for you. Now, I kind of had you pick up corn, but I never mentioned what you actually do with it. You're going to make corn oil out of it. Have your grow shrooms or yourself plant the corn, and that can be automatically irrigated as well and has the same light requirements as the morels, the mushrooms, and the peppercorn, so they can all go into the same room together. But the best part about the corn is, instead of all turning it into corn oil, you can bring it to the brewing barrels, put it in together with pure water, and it will actually make you corn ale. And if you're lucky to get deviated corn, it makes even deviated corn ale, which is even better. But corn ale uses to prevent character sanity drop for 30 minutes. That is so good. There's a Manibus public event that will leech away your sanity. Doesn't happen with this. If you're losing HP in a boss fight and your sanity would drop, usually because the boss fight is kind of polluted, doesn't happen. Yep, this prevents sanity drop for 30 minutes. Corn ale is absolutely incredible. And as you can see, it's my main source of hydration. I'm just constantly always have a beer with me. And now as a final thing, we did actually pick up that shellfish, right? And, well, the shellfish makes shellfish meat. And for this, you only need the pure water, the shellfish, and lastly, sugar. And sugar can be gained by planting beets or simply buying it from vendors. And beets you can actually steal in Mayor's Market. Yes, all the way down where the fishies are will teleport. And on the left side of Mayor's Market, when you're jumping down, there got cabbages going. So you can yoink yourself cabbages. And down here, Mayor's Market, next to the fish vendor, you can actually just, well, yeah, be the little beet robber. That's a beet seed. That's another beet seed. That's another beet seed. And you can actually come back here and, like, you know, just always steal their beets if you don't want to bother about planting them and just get more and more. Now with our shellfish meat, we can hit any enemy for a 5% bonus damage buff. Is it a boss, elite, normal dude? Just 5% more damage. Done. Simple as cake. Now there's tons more amazing food and many recipes I haven't found yet, but these are the foods that are so simple to automatize that give you insane buffs. What are you planting, and do you have your farm already set up? Share your recipes in the chat below. And if you're now looking for more in-depth advice that I gathered in my 200 hours of Once Human so far, enjoy and have a fantastic good day. Thank you for watching.